Sounds so good. So hey guys, how's it going? I kind of wanted to talk today about what it is exactly that brought me here. Like how, you know, why am I on a bike? You know, which I always think is an interesting story because everybody's different. Wow, this guy's going super slow. Not to mention the fact that one, I can smell his exhaust, and two, it whoa buddy, and his car was rattling like it was about to fall to pieces. Alright, so now that we're up to speed, so when I was about 8 or 9, I had a neighbor down the street, and you know, I had a friend about the same age, and me and him used to hang out and play outside and whatever kids do. And his dad or stepdad, whoever it was, he had a motorcycle, and one day he asked if I wanted to, you know, take a ride around the block, and I was like, man, you know, what a cool thing for a kid. You know, it was a little bit scary, but at the same time, it's one of those childhood memories. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It's one of those childhood memories that like just always sticks with you. And it was one of those. I have a cousin that when I was younger, probably around the same age, he used to ride dirt bikes when he was a kid. And he had this dirt bike in his house, at his house, and you know, all I wanted to do was take this thing home and, you know, ride it in the backyard or whatever. It wasn't street legal, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was ride it. I would sit on it in the backyard, and I would pretend that I was riding. You know, I'd sit there and, you know, hold the handlebars, and I would try to kickstart it and stuff, you know, and I would just pretend, and that's all I wanted to do. So right when I was starting college, I was still living at home, and like most college kids, I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't buy one. I couldn't afford to upkeep one, have insurance on one, registration on one, nor could I, you know, have a place to store it. Sorry, that's like a hair in my eye. You know, so it just wasn't in the cards. I was like, well, you know, maybe one day, you know, when I get more money or when I get a place, whatever. And so eventually I just got so fed up with the fact that I couldn't financially or logistically have one. I went and I took the riding course, the MSF course. I took it through a state-funded program that's done through one of the colleges around here. And it only cost me $20, which was awesome because I had 20 bucks. And I went in there, and it was like 2 weekends, and all I wanted to do, the whole reason that I took the course was, one, to learn, but also just so I could get on a motorcycle for once. That's all I wanted to do. I went ahead to the course, got my license, and it was awesome. A great experience. And that was probably, I don't know, maybe let's say that was probably 2010, 2011 maybe that I did that. And we're in 2018 now, and I just bought this bike last year, which means I went 5 or 6 years with having a motorcycle license, never drove a motorcycle. Fast forward to, you know, 2015, 2016, finally move into my own place. And unfortunately, my first, well, not unfortunately, I guess, I mean, I was very fortunate to have that place, you know, but for bike reasons, it was unfortunate. No garage access. There was a garage there, but it wasn't part of the rental agreement. So fast forward from finally getting my own place, got a house with a garage and a better job, and, you know, it was one of those things where I'm like, man, I would love to have one, but you know, I'm a little antsy about getting one. I'm a little scared almost. So then there was kind of probably three main events, or three main influencers, I should say, on why I eventually got the bike. And it all happened very, very quickly. Whoa. Got a slowpoke up here? What's going on? What are you doing? Oh my God. We're doing 30. Speed limit is 35. The first thing that happened was I went on a camping trip earlier last year. It was an off-road vehicle kind of, you know, fun park. You go on there, you get your dirt bikes, your ATVs, your side-by-sides, and you can go ahead and, you know, just ride through the trails and whatever. Now we weren't there to do that. We were just there to, you know, camp and do all the fun camping things. But the one thing that, you know, was so exciting about it was the fact that these people were oh, he don't even want to look at me. Oh, you guys got a nice car though. He's got a Harley Escort. The harmonious sound of loud exhausts. Oh, this guy didn't even wave to his bagger friend across the street. There's a helicopter. After we went on this, you know, camping trip with the ATVs, all I wanted to do was get a dirt bike. And I started researching dirt bikes and, you know, where I could go. But then I'm like, I'm going to need to get a trailer for it. I don't have a vehicle to tow a trailer with. And so I was like, well, that's going to be a problem. A little bit further down the line, my buddy Mike, or Ace, he's a singer in my band. Every time we would get on the road to go to a show, you know, we would pass by a dealership somewhere, and he'd be like, hey man, would you ever get a bike? Would you ever get a bike? And I'm like, dude, I would love to have a bike, but I don't want to die. I got to thinking, and I'm like, going back all the way to when I was a kid, like, this is something that I wanted forever, was to ride motorcycles. It's all I wanted to do. Finally in a position that I can have one. I can financially do it. I can logistically do it. I can make this happen. And the only thing holding me back was myself. I'm the only one that was holding me back. All because I was scared. And I was like, you know, it hit me. Finally, it hit me. I was like, wow. Set the goal in my mind, like, okay, this is happening, because I'm not about to let myself not do something. Now granted, that'll probably you know, be an exception for like skydiving or you know, anything like that. But as far as the motorcycle thing goes, I was like, this is happening. This has to happen. And so that's when I started looking on YouTube. And you know, the last influencer, the guy that made it happen for sure, you know, I'm sure he hears this all the time, and most of you probably know what it is, or who it is rather, because of you know, what I'm riding. You know, was Blockhead for sure. And a lot of that wasn't necessarily, you know, style influence. I wanted this bike for a while, but I got, you know, I found out a lot more information and felt comfortable purchasing it because he was able to provide a lot of it. There's 6th gear again. Because he was able to provide a lot of that information before I bought the bike, you know. So I felt a little bit more comfortable, you know, kind of test driving it through his channel, so to speak. So those are the kind of the 3 big reasons of why I'm sitting here riding. But you know, it's kind of been a long time coming, you know, and some interesting things have happened along the way, and it's been fun, and I'm totally thankful for all of it, because I'm sitting here, I'm riding, I'm having fun, you know, and now I'm starting to bring you guys along for the ride, you know. And all of this won't be from the bike or about the bike. You know, it's just one of my my many passions. Obviously music is a big passion, and you know, a lot of the content is going to revolve around that as well. So all right guys, I'm gonna cut it off here, and we'll let you go. So we'll see you around, or see you at a show. Have a good one.